fast lane. Life up in the fast lane, fast lane. And I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down. Living life up in the fast lane. Pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground. Living life up in the fast lane. Life, though you limits, you just put them in Corona.
Hello everyone, welcome to License to Ride. I just wanted to do a video today with a bit of a voiceover because my mic for my GoPro and the media mod hasn't actually showed up, so I can't do any actual in-helmet talking at the moment, which is a bit annoying, but that will be coming soon. So the next couple of videos might just be kind of in this style, riding in the background, and then me just kind of voiceovering. Voiceovering, is that a word? I don't know, we'll go with it. Now, I just want to talk today about the CBT and kind of my experience with it, how I did it, you know, how the day went, and I also want to talk about kind of what this channel is, in case anyone is watching it. It's basically just to document my journey. I want to go from CBT all the way to my full license, and I want to have kind of cool edits and videos that I can look back on, but also I want to give tips to people, who anyone, you know, is watching it, needs tips or is going through the same journey, just to help them or thinking about it, you know. So yeah, we'll get more onto that, but let's start off by talking about the CBT. CBT is basically the license that you need to ride what is a learner motorbike in the UK. So it's a 125cc with a maximum horsepower of 15. These are normally kind of, you know, top speed of 60, 70 miles an hour. You can do this when you're 17 in the UK. I believe if you're 16 you can do it for a 50cc scooter, or they do some 50cc geared bikes as well. So yeah, it's basically the first step on the journey to your motorcycle career, basically. So I booked my CBT a couple of weeks ago, on a Thursday. I did it midweek. It cost me £185. I think on the weekends that increases to £200. So yeah, if you can, like I did, take a day off work and kind of save yourself that money, and you know, that can go towards fuel or your insurance for the bike, whatever. Now the CBT experience, I just wanted to start off saying I am a car driver. I've driven for 11 years, and this did give me some confidence in terms of the on-the-road part. And then also just wanted to mention that I do have some experience on bikes. I've never done my CBT, never had a license or anything, but you know, when you're a teenager and your friends have got bikes, you're obviously going to want to have a go on private roads, obviously. So yeah, I felt confident enough going into it. A couple of days before, I did start getting a little bit nervous, because I didn't know what to expect. And I wish someone had told me before and really reinforced the fact that it's not a test, it's CBT, it's compulsive basic training. So you know, it's training, it's not a test, and I think people should know that when they go into it, and you can kind of relax a little bit knowing that. So yeah, just wanted to put that out there. So if anyone's going through the same sort of thought process as me, you kind of need to understand that it's not a test. You can relax a little bit, just try and enjoy it, and enjoy the journey of learning everything on the bike. I thoroughly enjoyed my day. My instructor was really good, the company I felt was really good, and the added bonus of when I got there, I realised that actually it was just going to be me and the instructor. There was no other person booked in for a CBT, so that really kind of relieve some nerve as well, because you know what it's like when you're trying to do something for the first time in front of someone. And you know, I'm 28, I've got a certain level of pride in life. I like to think I know what I'm doing, so it was nice just to be able to relax and learn thoroughly with the guy. So yeah, recommend doing it in the week. Maybe there's less people doing it. So when I got there, obviously, like I said, a bit nervous, but the guy kind of walked me through what we'd be doing for the day, and what was going to be happening. So straight away at ease. First bit, he shows you around the bike, shows you what everything does, indicators, horns, etc. And kind of gets you to handle it a little bit, push it around, push it backwards, just get used to the weight of the bike. Once you've gone through that, you then sort of start doing low speed stuff. You're on sort of a car park, so you're off-road, out the way. So he started off by kind of, teaching me how to do the clutch without the throttle, just getting the bike to move under its own weight. And I found that really kind of reassuring, because I'm sure if you've never ridden a bike before, you expect the bike to just take off from underneath you and just kind of, disappear into the sunset. But, it reinforces the fact that you feel a bit safer on it once you've done it. Anyway, so then he starts with manoeuvres. So we do it in and out of cones, figure of 8, all that sort of stuff. And there was one tricky bit I found was the low speed. He makes you do a lap of the car park at low speed. And you probably think, it's low speed, that's fine, it's going to be easier. Actually, I found that bit a bit difficult because I kept finding myself pulling in the clutch, which then, the back wheel isn't getting moved by anything, there's no momentum, so it kind of puts you off balance. But once you've got the clutch sort of control, down to a T, it's easy. You fly through it. And then after that, we did some sort of fake junctions. He sets up some cones, pretend it's a junction, and you do, turning right into a junction, and you practice coming out. And I found this bit of the day really quite fun, because it's skills that, I went in feeling a fair amount of confidence that I could ride a bike, but after that I felt like I was in control of the bike. I felt like it was me, doing everything rather than the bike taking me for a ride. So that I found really good. And then after you do all of this sort of stuff in the car park, you go out onto the road. Now, I have ridden bikes before, like I say, but once you are on two wheels out on public roads, cars going past at 30-40 mile an hour, when you can feel the wind and all that sort of stuff, it did make me feel vulnerable for a short time, until I'd warmed up on the bike and pulled out of a few junctions, done a couple of roundabouts and sort of settled into it a bit more. I did feel quite vulnerable, but it did wear off throughout the day, so don't make that, I hope that doesn't make you nervous if you're watching this to kind of get an idea of the CBT, because it did wear off quite quickly, especially if you've driven a car before. You kind of understand what to do at these junctions and stuff anyway. But yeah, so that was all fine, and then once you come back in from the road part, you sit down with him, and he basically he gave me some pointers on my riding, what I could improve on and just keep working on, and reinforce the fact that I should keep practicing under my own bike. So, go to a car park, practice these manoeuvres, all that sort of stuff. I found it really useful. I really enjoyed the day. But yeah, then comes the fun part. He signs your CBT form, and for me, a lot of people do the CBT just to kind of, for cheap transport, scooters, mopeds, that sort of thing. But this, to me, is going to be a hobby. It's something I've really wanted to do for a long time. So for me, when he handed me that slip of paper, it didn't feel silly or a day of training to me. It felt like the start of my journey. It felt like this is going to be the start of my motorcycling journey. This is the first step towards me getting on a big bike and doing all the things that I want to do, that I've imagined doing in my own head. Which brings me nicely onto this YouTube channel. Now, I just want to start off by saying, first and foremost, this YouTube channel to me is just to document my journey. I have a bit of a creative spark, so, having videos and being able to edit videos and record memories, basically, and try and make them into cool edits and stuff like that is why I'm doing this. But saying that, having put all the effort into editing videos and all that sort of stuff, I don't want it to just sit in a folder on my computer, especially when, you know, I'm going through this process of learning. So I want to be able to help people who are thinking about doing it, going through it themselves, you know, that sort of thing. I've got all this knowledge in my head, or will have, sorry, I should say, of what I'm going through, and it might be able to help people. If people are watching this, you know, I don't know if people are going to watch this, but that is basically where my head's at in terms of the channel. Now, further down the line, obviously right now, the videos are going to be very based on me riding my 125, getting used to it, putting some miles on it, maybe doing a couple of trips, trying to keep it as local as possible. I've ridden up to Norwich, which is about an hour and a half on the back roads, with my dad, who is also, you know, he's a bike enthusiast, so I've ridden with him. Stuff like that. But it's just going to be very focused on going through the licenses at the moment and the learning stuff. But further down the line, I kind of want it to be more of a space where, you know, I want these adventures on bikes. I want to go up to Scotland. I want to do the NC 500. My mum lives in Cornwall. It's a beautiful place. I lived there for 7 years. I want to take a bike down there, and I want to go to all the sort of small nooks and crannies that people might not necessarily know if you're not local. And, you know, I don't want them to, I won't reveal the location because I want them to stay that way, but there's so many possibilities. I want to go into Europe. I want to have these road trips, and like I say, I have this creative spark, so I want the editing of the videos to get better. I want to learn how to edit properly. I want to make these videos something that people want to watch, I guess. And just kind of, I want it to be a diary of my journey on a motorbike, and I want to see where we are now from this first video on my CBT, on my 125 bike, you know, and then get it to a place where I'm watching or editing a video of me, you know, going through the Black Forest, or on an adventure bike, or, you know, doing the Swiss Alps on another sports bike of however much power, and, you know, maybe some reviews and stuff like that. I just want it to be a place where I can let a creative freedom for my hobby kind of exist, and, you know, if it helps people along the way, or if people enjoy watching it, then obviously that's great. But the videos will be going up either way, because I want it to, like I say, be a diary of my experiences and my journey there. Now, just wanted to say, the bike that I'm on at the moment, I don't know if I've said it already in this video, is a Lexmoto LXS 125. It's a sports bike style, super sports maybe, don't know what the definite term is, but it is a sports kind of bike. And I didn't initially want a sports bike, but if you are starting on a 125 and your aspirations are to get to the bigger bikes, I found that this bike really kind of ticks the box in terms of big bike feel. I've looked at a couple of others. I wanted a CB 125R, because my next bike, hopefully once I get my license, will be a CB 650R. I really like those bikes. But I just found that, yeah, these give you a big bike feel. It makes you accommodated to, you know, a 125. And like I said, I didn't want a sports bike. I wanted a naked. But I do find this very, very comfortable to ride. It's got lots of room for me. I'm about 6 foot, so, you know, I've got that to bear in mind. I didn't want a tiny thing under me. And by no means did a CB 125R feel small under me, but it did come with a bit more of a price tag, and honestly don't know, you know, what's going to happen while I'm learning, or didn't know what was going to happen. So it's a fairly cheap bike that runs well. It's never going to go, you know, never going to light the world on fire in terms of speed, but I think this is a great bike to learn on. You know, it's a bit heavier than most, so that's again a drawback on speed. But speed isn't why I want to do this. It's more for the thrill of riding and going around these back roads like you've seen in this video. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that in at the end, just in case anyone's looking for sort of big bike feel. Really have a look at the Lexmoto LXS or LXR. I know they're not a big brand, the Chinese, but I don't feel like I'm on a cheap bike when I'm on it, if that's what you're worried about. And the LXS, I've got the grey and yellow one. You've seen it in the start of this video. But have a look on Google. These look absolutely mint. They look so good. They've got LED front lights, day running lights. They just look mean when they're behind you in the rear view. They look like a bigger bike than they are. They've got an underseat exhaust, which I found really cool, kind of like that. But yeah, just wanted to tell you what I'm riding, and I'll be on this for the next couple of videos, I'd imagine. But yeah, if you are interested in following my journey, please subscribe, give the video a like, and I will see you guys in the next one.